Hello everyone and welcome to Best Side Cycling. So in today's video, we're continuing off from yesterday and we are headed down 15th Avenue South to check out some improvements that were done earlier this summer with some pavement and improvements at an intersection. But also I just want to show off my experience riding this for the first time, what it feels like to be in an area that you don't know that well and the bike infrastructure actually being relatively sparse. So without further ado, let's get into it.
I am losing my bike lane, sort of. I got like a shoulder every now and then, but yeah, I don't think I have a consistent bike lane, and the other side has one now. So I'm just gonna play easy though. I'm gonna just roll behind the cars. But yeah, always fun to explore new places and adapt to what's going on here. But I think definitely the main thing is just to really be heads up wherever you're rolling. So yeah, this section really has not much bicycle amenities. All I got is a Shero. So the other side has a lane. Funny enough, it got switched on me. But yeah, this section, I can definitely see the need for a protected bike lane going southbound here. As there's gonna be cars passing me now. And yeah, always taking back to get a look, making sure it's all clear. But this section would really, really be nice.
And the kicker for me was that looking over this area in Google Maps generally shows dark green. Usually that means like you got at least like a pretty good marked bike lane or a protected one, but that clearly wasn't the case. So that was definitely conflating some of my troubles.
And it definitely is harder too when I think going on these shared roads, once you're going above a certain speed, it does feel quite fine. And there's nothing really to think about. But when you're just starting out, or you're on a small little bike like this, it does feel a lot worse being in the shared lanes at lower speeds. So
Now we're approaching the next intersection where there's two lanes there. And yeah, I fully advise whenever in these situations, intersections are definitely the most dangerous spot for a cyclist. Take a lot of a lane. Depends which lane, depends on which way you're going. But here I chose the right one because usually there's a nice continuation forward through like a bike lane on the right or something else like that, and you don't get in the way of vehicles. But here it's marked on the left, so it just depends case by case. But now we're passing by Jefferson Park there on the left. This is south of Spokane Street, and this was where the pavement improvement projects were done. So yeah, you can notice the clear difference in quality in the pavement. There's no more cracks or anything, and I'm thinking I'm all good. There's like a bike lane here, and I'm just going ahead. But that's just a foreshadowing that it doesn't really end up that way. But overall, with the project itself, it's always nice to have these improvements in general. There's a lot of them that just happen throughout the year in terms of just different pavement improvements here with like the green paint and so on. But then now I enter and see the dreaded bike lanes end sign, and I feel just sort of abandoned here as I'm now on what looks like how many lanes across is this, like 6 lanes, and then now I have to like merge with this car because I actually don't have a bike lane up ahead of me. And yeah, that experience was just super jarring, and especially yeah for someone that's new, you might just be following Google Maps and just what I did, and you end up on an experience like this. So I mean, I am very, very used to riding with cars, especially riding over the east side. And this was, yeah, probably the limit of what I'm comfortable with. In a sense, anymore, I think I would be actively sort of nervous. So, but when that happens, though, what I tend to do and what I really advise is just making sure that you're really, really keen on your surroundings. For me, riding with cars, that just means looking back more and more often because that's the way that you can 100% confirm what's there. So yeah, so we somehow ended up on this 2 lane road, cars going quite fast. There is still that little Cheryl thing on the ground. In these cases, it doesn't really do much to help me. Um, I mean, in these situations, like it's in good visibility, it's fine, but and especially with the traffic load today, but once it gets any heavier, yeah, this is gonna get increasingly sketchy, but you know what happens? Up ahead, I start seeing that a protected bike lane gets into view. So it's just a very interesting experience going from that into just a random protected bike lane. And yeah, there's definitely clear gaps here on 15th Avenue South. I know with the Beacon Hill bike route project, like Beacon Avenue probably will be the main corridor through this whole area once that's all set and up. But just leaving gaps like this definitely makes it harder to access. And as we're here at Columbia Way now, we can look at the intersection. They have a lot of the modern improvements here, which is super awesome. But for the next ride tomorrow, I'm going to be going back up using a neighborhood greenway, and that's just going to be a totally different experience. So check that out tomorrow, and I'll see you all in the next video.